What's poppin', everybody? I want to welcome you guys to my first ever tutorial video here on the channel. So today we're going to be covering how I do a mid blowout taper, get the curls poppin', trim up the beard a little bit, all of that fun stuff. So right away, just jumping straight into it, we're going to start by combing the hair down on the side of the head where we're going to be working, and then straight away set our bald line for the mid taper, which is going to look kind of like a little rainbow shape. Keep a rainbow shape because it keeps the C cup a bit darker and it keeps the area above the ear a little bit darker as well. Follow that up with my FX3 Babyliss shaver. I'm using that to completely bald out underneath my bald line. And then I'm going to go in with my 1.5, slightly open, and debulk the side of the head, basically flicking out as I reach the parietal ridge, actually just below the parietal ridge. You want to make sure that you don't take off too much length. You want to keep a good amount of weight because we're going to follow up with our thinning shear over comb, blending the 1.5 into the weight on top. We're not cutting any length on top. Today we're going to be curling it up because usually he combs his hair, but he lives a busy lifestyle. He's currently in his undergraduate program and then he's going to be going to med school. So we want to make sure that we get him a really easy morning routine as well. He should just be able to wake up and go. So I figured the curls would probably be better for that. He doesn't really need to treat them or do anything with them. We're going to go in with our lever open right now, creating a fingers width guideline following the shape of our bald line. And then we're going to go and close our lever and knock out that bottom line. Sometimes it might not knock out. On his hair texture, it's not. So that's where we're going to follow up with our trimmer, going in just with the corners to make sure that we take out any semblance of that bottom line. Go back in with our clipper, lever closed, using the corners to take out any dark spots. Then go in with our lever slightly open on our 1 guard. And we're going to be flicking just to blend into that 1.5 and soften up that line that we just created with our lever open. We're going to go in with our 1/2 guard now, slightly open, and just kind of pick out at that middle line that we set, and that's going to bring the fade together right away. And here I'm using my 1 guard again just to kind of blend everything, make sure I'm finding any dark spots. I'm also reducing some of the length at the C cup because what I like to do is I like to brush everything down and go back in with my trimmers. And the way that you do this is I set a line, or I start the line basically right at the corner between the vertical bar and the end of the C cup. I set a line there, and then I set a line at the sideburn, or where the sideburn would be, and then I connect them, and that gives me the best C cup shape for my lineups. And you'll see right here, so I set that one line right between the vertical bar, or where the vertical bar and the corner meet, and my second line is right here, and then I just connect it, and that gives me a nice C cup shape. And I just make sure I clean everything up with my trimmer, make sure there's no excess hair there. Go and pull the ear down and just slightly line up above the ear, but we'll show you guys that later. In the back of the head, it's the same stitch. We're gonna basically comb everything down, go in with our 1.5 and flick out, making sure that we're completely flicked out by the time we're close to the occipital bone in the back of the head. We'll flick everything out, get it all down to that length, make sure we flick out. Then we're going to use thinning shear over comb to go and basically, again, blend from that 1.5 into the bulk that we want to leave because we want it to curl up. So we're doing that right now. You'll see me working around the back of the head, making sure we take off a little bit of that length so that it blends in when we comb it down. Now we're going to set our bald line. Again, the same rainbow shape that we were talking about on the side. The steps are the same. Create that bald line, make sure we bald out everything underneath, get rid of all the hair, create a clean canvas for us to see exactly what we're working with. And then after we do this and we dust off all the hair, we're gonna go in with our shaver. And our shaver is gonna remove all the hair underneath. It's gonna give us a really clean canvas, and we know that we're gonna be blending into complete skin. It's gonna make the taper pop. For some beginners, I wouldn't recommend going in with the shaver right away. I'd recommend actually waiting, but for me, I like to go in with the shaver. Next up, lever open on our clippers, creating a fingers width guideline. It doesn't need to be super consistent, but you obviously shouldn't have high and low points, but obviously I see that my line isn't super consistent. Try to have a better shape line than me. I go with my lever closed to knock out that bottom line, and right now I'm going in with my trimmer blade just to completely try to remove that bottom line. Now I'm going to go in with my 1.5 again, and the 1.5 again is mainly meant so that I can flick into my previous 1.5 to make sure it's all a 1.5, like a true 1.5. Now I'm going to go in with my 1 halfway open and just flick everything out, soften up that line. Now our half guard, and we're going to flick out that bottom line. This is a JRO half guard, so it might not completely take out that line. I always recommend to barbers to use a wall half guard, which you'll see me use right now. It's a wall or a Stylecraft half guard, and that's this one right here. So this one is going to be able to remove that line completely and really blend it out. That's what we're working on right now, really just trying to get those little lines out. Focusing on this side, we'll take these little lines out, and then we'll detail work it afterwards. Just make sure that we get all the dark spots out. Here I take off my guard and I just kind of pick out the bottom there just to make sure it's all blended. Now we're going to do the other side. Again, I start with the debulking process with my 1.5. I'm going to speed this up a little bit just so that y'all can see kind of how the process is the same, but obviously we covered the process on the other side, so that's why I'm just going to speed this up just so that, you know, we don't waste too much time. You can see I go in with my trimmer first, followed by my shaver, followed by my lever open, close up the lever, knock out that bottom line. Going with my 1 guard, kind of flick out again into that 1.5, follow up with my half guard, flicking out in that in-between zone, use scissor-over-comb to take out some of that weight, then going with my trimmer, again find the point, find the sideburn, connect them with the C-cup, remove any hair underneath. On the back line here, y'all can see, I'm going to comb everything down, follow the natural shape of the hair growth. Obviously that's all overhang there, so we want to make sure that we take it out. Get rid of all that overhang, and then hold the ear down again and go over it again slowly, making sure that you're really precise with the shape. We want to make sure that the shape is nice and clean. This back of the neck area is one of the most important areas. It's going to make the haircut feel super clean when there's no hair hanging on the ears and when there's no hair on the back of the neck. It creates the shape. So we want to make sure that you're super meticulous about that. Now we're going to move on to the beard. This is a number 2, or I think it's a number 2, flicking everything out underneath. Usually he shaves his beard, but I wanted to try and do something different. So we're kind of doing this Italian beard style that's been so popular recently, just because his growth naturally kind of reflects that. He's got really strong growth on the chin, but not much on the cheeks. So given, again, the natural growth that he has, that's why we're doing this Italian beard style. We want to work with the natural growth pattern that he has, using his growth pattern as the bald line to fade into the skin so that we don't push the beard any lower. Now I'm speeding this up because this isn't meant to be a beard tutorial. If you guys are interested in getting a beard tutorial, how to do the Italian beard, how to do disconnected goatee, anything along those lines, go ahead and shoot me a comment in the comment section below. I'll work on getting that video out. But other than that, yeah, just create the bald line underneath the neck, on the back of the beard as well. That creates that really strong jaw appearance. Make sure everything's clean. Here we're kind of just fading out the middle. One tip that I have is that if your mustache connects to your goatee, oftentimes you look like a 40-year-old. So for guys that are trying to look a bit younger, make sure that you disconnect that. For the mustache, we're going to go in with number 1 closed and then follow that up just above the lip with our liners to clean everything up there. Now we're going to go in with our razor, hitting the vertical bars on the lineup as well as the C cups again. As you'll see here in a moment, we're going to hit basically all of our lines, and we're going to follow up all of our lines with our razor. Next, we're going to get to the eyebrows. He's got crazy growth down the middle, so we're going to go ahead and line it up where it should be, which is right at the bridge of his nose connecting to his brow. And we're going to go ahead and take out all the hair there. That already looks so much better. He looks less angry. Well, obviously we'll go in and razor that out. The next step is to kind of just shape the brows a little bit. Obviously he's got some overhang, got some crazy brows on him, so we're going to follow that up with the razor, just making sure that the shape is good. We don't want to over manicure the shape. We want it to just look natural, but we want it to still be clean. Finally, we're going to go in with some product. This is just some matte clay. We've already kind of wet his hair and put in some curl cream. We diffused it and then we picked it out. So we kind of trained it to be a bit more curly today versus his regular combing style. But obviously we're going to go in now with a bit of matte clay just to give him a bit more of a tussled, rough, curly look. We weren't focusing too much on getting like a really defined curl, but I think this style suits him pretty well. So this is how he walked in, looking super scraggly, super scruffy, you know, a little bit unkempt. And you know we had to get him right, you know we had to get him looking fresh, so this is the final result. I'm gonna get on my 360 Jeezy a little bit. YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like, can't even keep a straight face. If you like it, y'all, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know any other haircut ideas you got, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Peace out.